So I recently heard a radio announcer on Mix FM confidently giving advice to listeners, saying that if you check in for your flight early, you might have your bags be one of the last to come out on the carousel when you arrive. Conversely, if you check in for your flight late, your bags are going to be one of the last to be loaded on the plane and therefore the first to come out, and you're going to get it on the carousel early. So the conclusion was check in late for your flight so that your bags are going to be one of the first to come out of the carousel and you can leave the airport early. It's a conclusion based on a logical assumption. It makes sense. And likely, the radio announcer would have experienced it when he checked in late and happened to have his bag come out early. But I do know a thing or two about airline operations, and this actually is not the case, because there is no linear path that goes straight from the conveyor belt at the check-in counter right to the plane. The bags that go down that conveyor belt do not go straight to the plane. They reach a staging area and the bags keep coming up. And later, the baggage handlers sort of regroup the bags, put them on the trucks that you see carrying bags, and then they head off to the plane, because it doesn't make sense to do multiple trips to the plane. And at this staging area, whether your bag comes first or it comes later, the order is not necessarily followed in that sequence. Likewise, when it gets loaded on the baggage truck with the multiple compartments, it isn't always the case that the first compartment gets loaded up first, because it depends on when and how the baggage train approaches the aircraft, whether they can start loading from the front or sometimes they start loading from the back. And so it really is random. There isn't a rule that says what happens at the check-in counter will necessarily flow all the way to the arrivals point. So this is a good reminder for me, and I hope it is for you too. What assumptions are we holding on to, the beliefs, just because it sounds logical, or we may have had a few limited data points of experience, but on reflection, is it necessarily really true?